For my health project, I will be doing it over the Alzheimer's disease. We'll discuss what exactly is the Alzheimer's disease, who it affects, how it affects the brains, what exactly it is, the scientific studies that are going on to find a cure for it. Although there is no cure, there are specific treatments that have been found to help the people that are being affected by this disease. One specifically that we're going to talk about is the treatment of music, how this affects the brain and the happiness it brings these people that are affected by this disease. So, here's Alzheimer's disease. All right, so we need to first understand what exactly is the Alzheimer's disease. This is an irreversible progress brain disability that slows down and destroys the memory and thinking skills that a person has. It interferes with everyday tasks that people aren't able to perform anymore. You usually first start seeing symptoms in the early 60s, mid 60s, um, give or take. It can happen to anybody, but usually it starts by the loss like remembering things. They forget where their keys are. They forget what their name is. These things start happening, and starts going downhill. It is 5 million Americans are actually affected by this. This is an estimated number that some scientists gathered. It is considered the sixth leading cause in America. Some argue that it's the third behind cardiovascular disease and cancer due to cause of death by elderly people. Dementia is this is the cause of dementia, which is a loss of cognitive functioning, thinking, remembering, and reasoning. This is what makes these people end up in nursing homes, is because they lose the ability to do everyday tasks. They'll end up hurting themselves. They forget that the oven's on or the stove's on, and things happen. So these people usually end up in nursing homes because of the effects that it has on the brain. Next, we're going to look at the history of Alzheimer's disease. The name comes from Alois Alzheimer, which was a scientist who in 1906 discovered changes in brain tissue after a woman passed away from an unusual mental illness. No one knew what was wrong with her, but after she passed away, Alois Alzheimer, he studied the brain and found abnormal clumps and tangled bundles of fiber. And these are now called amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles. They remain some of the main features of the Alzheimer's disease that are found in the brain. Other features are loss of connections between the nerve cells in the brain. These are the neurons that transmit information from the brain to the rest of the body. So what's happening in the people who are affected by this Alzheimer's disease is that the neurons are detaching themselves from the brain, and it's deadening them, and so they are not able to make the connections into the memories and the brain functioning that they used to have. The messages aren't being transmitted to their brain and from the brain to the rest of their body, so they're not able to control their organs and their memory and all those things that they used to. All right, so along with the history of Alzheimer's disease, there are more statistics that show you just like how bad this disease has gotten. So the percentage of long-term care services that are needed for people with Alzheimer's, and the percentage of adults that need like day services for care is 29.9%. In residential care communities, it's 39.6%. In health agency patients, people with Alzheimer's, is 31.4%. Hospice patients is 44.7%, and nursing home residents that have Alzheimer's is 50.4%. So this is affecting so many people in America today. And although there's no cure, after 1906, they saw those imperfections in the brain, and they were able to connect those with other cases that have happened throughout the years. And now they realize what's happening to the neurons in the brain. And so there are several clinical trials that are happening today. Like I said, no cures have been found, but their research is being done where it's connecting several factors that is possibly causing Alzheimer's, or that we're seeing sequences of events that are happening, and things that can help maybe slow the process down, or help the patient out in any way possible. But sadly, there is no cure yet. All right, so like I said, there's no cure, but there are several case studies that have been done. And one of the main drugs that they found that help the Alzheimer's disease is donepezil. This is approved for all stages of Alzheimer's, and it is distributed throughout many nursing homes. And what this does is the neurons that connect and communicate at the synapses in the brain, there's called transmitters that carry information from one cell to the other. Well, the neurotransmitters is what is being affected, as well as the neurons, and the donepezil it is slowing down the process of these uh, that the process that is breaking down these neurotransmitters. So, but what we're seeing happening, although it is slowing down the process, it is basically killing the patient on the inside. They're vegetable like. They don't want to communicate. They are super unhappy because it's slowing down their brain function. So, although there's no cure and the drugs do help, there are other treatments that have been found. One of the coolest ones that I found that I'm going to talk about um, is the treatment of music. There's a video called Alive Inside, and it is based off of an organization called Music and Memory, and they have found that the connection of music with people with brain diseases, it helps connect those memories back to the patient of what they once lost. Um, so here's a clip of a guy named Henry, and he is a patient in a nursing home, and he's been there for about 10 years. Um, his daughter's in the clip as well, and it shows you just what the music is doing to him. He's no longer sad and depressed in the nursing home anymore. So here you go. Here's Henry, and just watch the effect that the music has on him.
Henry is one of the 5 million people in America with dementia.
Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa.
Huh?
How you doing?
All right. Fine. Wait.
Who am I?
I don't. Wait a minute. I don't.
Okay, it's Jerry. How long has he been in the nursing home? Approximately 10 years. Of course, it affected me greatly because he was always, fun-loving. I remember as a child, he used to walk us down the street, me and my brother, and he would stop and do Singing in the Rain. He would have us jumping and swinging around poles.
His name is Henry Dreyer.
Uh-huh.
And looking more or less for religious music for him. Because he enjoys music and he always quoting the Bible.
We first see Henry inert, maybe depressed, unresponsive, and almost unalive.
Henry.
Yeah.
Henry.
Yes.
I found your music.
Then he is given an iPod containing, we know, his favorite music. And immediately he lights up. His face assumes expression, his eyes open wide, and he's being animated by the music.
And he used to always sit on the unit with his head like this. He didn't really talk to much people. And then when I introduced the music to him, this is his reaction ever since.
The philosopher Kant once called music the quickening art, and Henry is being quickened, he's being brought to life.
I'm going to give it back to you.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The effect of this doesn't stop, because when the headphones are taken off, Henry, normally mute, virtually unable to answer the simplest yes or no questions.
Yeah, I'm crazy about music. And you play beautiful music, beautiful sound. Beautiful.
Did you play music when you were? Did you like music when you were young?
Yes, I went to big dances and things.
What was your favorite music when you were young?
Well, I guess, Cab Calloway was my number one fan guy. I like.
What was your favorite Cab Calloway song?
Oh, I'll be on there for Christmas. You can count plans on me with plenty of snow, mistletoe, present wrapped around you tree. Ow!
So in some sense, Henry is restored to himself. He is remembered who he is, and he's reacquired his identity for a while through the power of music.
Those videos get me every time. I absolutely love that documentary. Like I said, it's called Alive Inside, and it is available on Netflix now. So there are several stories that are on that documentary. I definitely recommend it. It shows patients that were never able to remember anything. They weren't able to remember who their kids were, who they were. But as you can see with Henry here, as soon as he puts those headphones on and he's listening to that music, his eyes light up. I mean, you can even just see it on his facial expressions, the happiness that it brings him. So what this music is doing is whenever you're listening to it, it is allowing you to make connections to those memories that are deep inside your brain. So music that you listen to as a kid, you're listening to it and you're able to make connections with faces or connections with a memory, and you're able to remember that time again. So it's bringing back a part of their life that they were never able to remember again. Not only is this affecting the patients that have the Alzheimer's disease, but it's making the lives of their family members so much easier. Before, when they just had the drugs, they would walk in and their family member would just be dead inside. They would just be no life inside them whatsoever. But now with this music, they are alive inside. They're seeing them smile. Like Henry showed us, not only was he able to mention his favorite artist, but he sat there and sang the song. So that's such good improvement. And even if this treatment is not curing them, but it's making their lives a little bit better by the time that it's for their time to go, it's worth it. It's doing amazing things, and this is a treatment that's being used more in America today. So along with that, Music and Memory is a nonprofit organization that the documentary is showing us, and what they do is they take MP3 players and iPods and those type of things that are donated to them. They put on music that their patients would like to listen to, and they give them to those people in the nursing homes. And as you can see, it has such amazing effect on them. So yeah, that is the effect that music has on the brain with the Alzheimer's disease. Although it is no cure, it is a method that's being accepted by several nursing homes and hospitals around the country. So it is definitely a treatment worth considering. Thank you.